Okay, so I'm going to give a very brief talk about gymnastics. In my spare time, I'm a gym coach. So, very briefly, gyms evolved a long way. It originally came from in far north Europe, I think Scandinavia. They had long winters, log cabins, not much to do, and they needed to do something over the winter to maintain their strength for when they, I think it was the Vikings, when they jumped in their long ships and went out in summer, looting and pillaging and doing the rest of it. So they came up with all these exercises they could do inside a cabin like this. So you didn't have a lot of room, you had to make the most of it. We've come a long way since then. It joined the Olympics. It was one of the first sports to go in the Olympics in the late 19th century. Now, today, we've got 4 kinds of gymnastics. You've got men's artistic, women's artistic, rhythmic gymnastics, and sports acrobatics, sports aerobics. Sports aerobics I don't know very much about. I've been to one lesson on it, so I'll leave that there. Rhythmic gymnastics is the one that you see with the ribbons and the balls and the ropes and they're jumping around and doing crazy things. Usually women, guys are not so good. Women's artistic gymnastics is the is one that's usually on the Olympics and gets all the playtime because that's very cute little girls in little outfits, tumbling across the floor, swinging around on the beams, doing that kind of thing. I don't know anything about that. What I know about is men's artistic gymnastics. So I didn't compete myself. I was busy doing karate and a couple of other things. So I've come in as a coach as an adult, and what's more as a software developer. And so I've looked at it from an analytical point of view, and there's a lot of things that I really like about it. So the first thing is that gymnastics is completely open source. There's the Federal, how do you say this? The International Institute of Gymnastics. The FIG, it's a French acronym. And sorry for it. Yeah, that's the one. And they have every single skill that you can possibly do, and the ratings, and the difficulty, and the execution, and all the deductions you can have. And everything's there. You can go there on the internet, you can download it, it's all there. The hard part is actually doing it. Which is where the coach comes in. And so we look at a skill, so I'll use something very simple like a handstand, which we all know what a handstand is, and in terms of gymnastics that usually comes in very, very early, so that's a level 1 or 2 skill. And just for a frame of reference, usually in a national competition you'll have levels 1 through 10, and then beyond that they go to League International, and then beyond that they go to Olympics. So, yeah, so handstand is fairly introductory. So we would look at that skill and we'd say, okay, what strength elements does it take to complete that skill? So, in order to hold your weight on your hands above your body, you need to have a certain amount of upper body strength, a certain amount of tricep strength, shoulders, core, and also glutes, and because mainly the thing that your legs are doing is holding tight. There's a lot of physics in gymnastics, things like when they do somersaults, you've got conservation of angular momentum, so you make a large shape with a little bit of rotation, and then you tuck small into a small shape that gets you over, and then you come out to land. Once you've completed your rotation, you open out again. Ooh, 140 so you can control your landing and stick it. And you don't want to see this kind of thing because that's all deductions. So I'm running out of time, so I'm going to do a quick progression for a handstand. What we would do is we would do a lot of strength exercises to build the strength that a gymnast would need to be able to support their body upside down. Then we would get them to be comfortable putting their weight on their hands and leaning forward. Then we want to get them used to bailing out of the handstand if something goes wrong. So we teach them a forward roll, and we'll get them doing rows and rows and rows of that, back and forth, getting used to going over. Because normally what they do is they go like that. And it takes a long time to teach kids how not to land on their heads. The next thing we get them to do is to practice kicking up, because the handstand, you want to create a pivot point with your hands and then create momentum with one leg, and then the other leg pushes up. So what you do is we get them to do something called scorpion kicks, because it looks kind of like a scorpion, I guess. So they'll put their hands down and just kick up. And we'll get them to step and just do rows of that, because that's putting their weight on their hands and getting used to that momentum. After a while, we'll lift that up a bit and try and get them to take this foot off the ground. If they're scared, which they usually are, you put your hand up and get them to kick their hand as hard as they can. That will teach them the momentum. Then we'll progress to a wall. Oops. and just get them to hold it. And that, with their strength, and it does.